Hey friend, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, I spy with my little eye. Beer Geek Peanut Butter Shake is an 11.8% Imperial Stout from Mikkeller Brewing in San Diego, California. Ring that bell, new brewery to the channel. This is the first Mikkeller beer that I'm reviewing on the channel, and probably only the second beer that I've ever had from Mikkeller. Now, while I'd usually like to sit and talk about the brewery, maybe give you different facts about the place, talk about their gypsy brewing roots, or maybe the relationship between Mikkeller and Evil Twin, and just other really interesting minutiae about the brewery, I'm just really excited to open this one and talk about the beer. So let's take a look at the label and get to cracking. But one thing first. I want to thank my executive producer, Ryan Berry, for helping bring this review to you. If you'd like to become an executive producer, maybe help buy me a beer, just help out the channel, take a look at my Patreon at patreon.com/draft_therapy. You get early access to these videos and a few other special perks, as well as the warm feeling of knowing you've helped out a friend. I'll leave the link in the description below. So let's take a look at the label. This one, we'll start on the top. It says Limited Series MKSD, meaning Mikkeller San Diego, Beer Geek Peanut Butter Shake, and it has a picture of the guy that's on every Mikkeller beer label, and this time he is holding up a peanut butter cup with a hole through it, and he's just kind of like giving an eyeball out what's through there. And underneath it says Imperial Stout with coffee, cocoa nibs, and peanut butter flavor. Ingredients: water, barley malt, coffee, cocoa, peanut butter, hops, and yeast. And then it has it in a couple other languages. It looks like Swedish is one of them. It says 11.8% alcohol by volume. And then we're going to turn it to the left here. It says Mikkeller San Diego, brewed and canned by Mikkeller SD, San Diego, California. 1 pint, please. Recycle. On the other side is the government warning, and it says enjoy. Now, if I'm looking at the bottom of the can here, it says it was born on October 12th, 2020 at 12:28. I'm guessing that's in the morning, but it could be something else. It says Shake My Butter. I paid $7.59 for this single can from Holiday Market in Royal Oak. I'm going to grab my large kind of snifter glass here. We're going to go ahead and crack it and put a nose on the can. And a real faint pop, not a whole lot of carbonation from opening the can itself. Getting a good kind of chocolatey aroma in there. Maybe a tiny bit of peanut butter. I always have to put the disclaimer, for me, peanut butter doesn't always come through in beer. I love peanut butter by itself, but sometimes I don't pick up on the taste of peanut butter, but I'm hoping this one's going to be a little bit different. So let's go ahead and pour it. Coming out really dark out of the can, like almost oil dark. I'm going to pour it a little bit more down the center here to see if we can churn up some of that head. Getting kind of aggressive there on the pour, just to kind of churn it up. And it comes to life after it's been poured. I'm getting about maybe a finger's worth of head, a coffee-colored head, really nice dense bubbles, a lot of carbonation kind of rising up from the bottom initially, but now it's kind of like settled. The head's just kind of, it's sitting there again now it's about half a finger. Not really an exciting head, but nice and brown nonetheless. Holding up to the light here. That's really dark, not seeing through that at all. It's super opaque. And let's put a nose on the glass here. Yeah, just kind of more of the same that I was getting from the can itself. Getting a little bit of a coffee aroma. I was getting a sweet kind of chocolate in there too. Maybe the faint aroma of a peanut butter. Light, maybe almost vanilla aroma in there too. All right, let's try it out. Cheers. Actually, on that last sniff, I got a lot of kind of a peanut butter on the very end of the smell. But anyways, cheers. Wow. Really rich, nice, thick mouthfeel, borderline syrupy, but not too syrupy. But it's got a nice kind of coating effect on your tongue. And I can guarantee you, I did pick up peanut butter. Let's get another taste. A lot of chocolate on there too. One thing that's really apparent in this beer, right from the get-go, you can taste that this is an 11.8% stout. It has a lot of kind of an alcohol estery kind of flavor in there, but mixed in there a lot is this, you get a lot of sweet chocolate, a real nice sweet chocolate mixed in with that kind of alcohol flavor. but it's not overpoweringly alcohol. It is strong. You can definitely taste it, but it's not overwhelming. It's not super overpowering, but it's definitely there. It is a key flavor in this beer. Swishing it around, you get a lot of that chocolate. It's not a super dark chocolate. I would expect it to be maybe a little bit more of a darker chocolate when it says cocoa nibs, but it's actually a sweeter chocolate, and that peanut butter is kind of wrapped up in there as well. It's not, again, it's not an overwhelming kind of peanut butter flavor. I'm not getting like, it doesn't taste like I took a spoonful of peanut butter and jammed it in my mouth and shoved some chocolate in there with it. It's the chocolate is the really heavier, the higher priority flavor in that mixture. And then the peanut butter is kind of clinging on to all that. And then on the swallow, that's when you pick up a very large, very deep, dark coffee, roasty flavors in there. A nice dark, like a dark roasted coffee flavor. Overall, the coffee and because the coffee comes on the tail end, it's part of the aftertaste. You really start to get the coffee. The coffee becomes a very overwhelming part of the flavor. Very roasty, roasted notes, really dark roasted, smoky almost coffee flavor in there. I like the chocolate up front. I like the peanut butter that's in there, but I almost wish that it was a little bit more, that you get a little bit more of that and a little bit less of that kind of alcohol-y kind of flavor in there that you get. It seems like I get a lot more of that than I get of the just the chocolate that kind of sits in there. The chocolate, obviously, like I said, is there. The peanut butter is there, but I feel like I'm just getting a lot more of that alcohol kind of flavor. And then on the tail, the coffee just takes it over. I mean, the coffee just dominates the rest of the flavor profile, especially the aftertaste. The aftertaste is like a mouthful of coffee, and if you're a coffee fan, you're gonna like that. But just kind of keep that in mind. It's not totally so much in that realm of the chocolate and the peanut butter. It's definitely there up front, but the overwhelming, dominating flavor after that subsides is that dark, roasty coffee flavor. It's a very good beer. It reminds me a lot of almost reminds me, well, I was going to say a lot, maybe a little bit of the KBS Mackinac Fudge flavor. But that is obviously bourbon barrel aged. This doesn't have that bourbon characteristic, but it has a lot of that coffee flavor. But I like the KBS a little bit more. What I would have liked to have seen on this is, again, just kind of more of that lasting chocolate, more of the peanut butter flavor amped up. As I said before, I don't always taste peanut butter in beer, so take that for what it's worth. But I think if it had a little bit more peanut butter flavor in there and a little bit more of that chocolate, that would kind of help maybe curb a little bit of that coffee, that really just overwhelming coffee flavor that just dominates the flavor profile on the swallow, on the aftertaste. If you're looking for a good peanut butter beer, this is not one. Sometimes you can get peanut butter stouts that are really sweet. This one's not that. You do get the peanut butter flavor, you get the chocolate, you get a sweet chocolate flavor, and that alcohol kind of flavor that I was talking about at first really subsided. But again, the overwhelming, the dominating flavor, just kind of priority on the aftertaste after the swallow is the coffee. If you're not a coffee fan, I would suggest you kind of maybe you stay away, or at least you just be aware that this is going to have a huge coffee profile on the back end. All right, friends, that has been Beer Geek Peanut Butter Shake from Mikkeller Brewing in San Diego. Have you had this beer? Do you have a favorite Mikkeller beer? Or maybe you can fill us in on who this little guy is on the can, or maybe you know some Mikkeller history that I didn't expand on. Let us know in the comments down below while you're down there. If you like beer, you might want to subscribe and click that bell, because I'm here talking about beer twice a week. Tuesdays and Thursdays is all for free for viewers just like you, and you might miss your newest favorite if you're not subscribed and getting those notifications. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by, and remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries wherever they are, and most importantly, don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching. Cheers.